Hey everybody, I know it's been a couple of 2 or 3 weeks since I updated you guys about what's going on. It's just because I've been busy, man. The guy that runs the company usually finds my loads for me. I haul his loads and everything. He's been out of town for like 3 weeks, and so I've been shopping my own loads, and that's a lot more hectic and time consuming than you think it is. So you've got communication between you and the broker going back and forth. So there's no real way for me to show you the load board because I use the phone. As far as the load board is concerned, I have my computer. I guess I can pull it up and show it to you that way. But one day I'll do like a tutorial or whatever. But you find a load on the load board that you think you want to haul, weight wise or trailer wise or distance or destination or whatever. And then you call them up and you say, I'll haul this load. And then there's this bickering that goes back and forth between you and the broker. So you're going to start with, I need this much. They're going to say, I can't even touch that. There's no way I'm going to ever touch that. And you either say, this is my cutoff point, or you try to meet in the middle. And some of the loads I did, I tried to meet in the middle as much as possible. I had one, though, it was really interesting. I called and they were like, this was, I was somewhere. And I called on a load, and they only wanted to give me the load for like $700. And then I posted my truck up on the load board because you can take your truck, all your stats, post it up on the load board, and wait for somebody to call. Well, they were having trouble filling this one load or something, and they were like, "Oh, we really need this to go," and da da da. And nobody wants to take it, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay. So they ended up calling me. Like the same guy that I called, and he's like, we can do it for like $800, $900. Like, okay, well they called me, and they were like, well, what would it take to get you to do this load? I'm just like, I told them like 14, and they said, well, I don't know if we can do 14. And I was like, well, let me know, or whatever, because I'm not doing it for what you guys got it listed at. And so he called me back. He said, okay, we'll do it for 13. And I was like, okay, I'll do it for 13. And I think it ended up being just a little less than $2 a mile, but it wasn't bad. It got me where I needed to go, and I made some money on the side. What was it? There was another one that I had that was like, it was like a ridiculous. It was like a local load. Like I was in town because I was trying to get back for a friend's 50th birthday party in Dallas. I'm not Dallas now. I'm in Grants, New Mexico, actually, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, I was trying to get, and so I was in town. I was looking for something local to do, and just like a real quick local job. Pick it up, drop it off somewhere local as well. And I talked to this guy and was just like, I want something local, and he goes, well, $300. I was like, $300 for what you're talking about? I don't think so, buddy. So again, like they called me back, and they were like, are you empty now? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, can you pick this up as soon as possible? Yeah. And they're like, can you do it for $600? And I was like, yeah, I can do it for $600. When's it drop? And they were like, 4 o'clock tomorrow morning. I was like, I can't do it for $600 and sit on it all night. You gotta be kidding me. So we negotiated back and forth, and I got it for $600, but I dropped it at 11 o'clock. Now, the place that I went to drop it at 11 o'clock, they screwed it up because I pulled in at like 10:30 and didn't get out of there until almost 6 in the morning. And so I spent the night at that place, which pissed me off, and I got detention pay for that. I called them up and said, this was BS. I need detention pay. So, but the deal is, it's like you're going to call and you're going to dicker back and forth, and that's just an example of dickering back and forth. You're going to call and dicker back and forth with them, and then after you guys dicker about it, if you accept the load, then they've got to send the load to you if it's your company under your authority, or they've got to send the load to you and to the company. So somebody has to accept it, whether it's you that accepts it or whether it's the company that accepts it. Somebody has to accept it, and so you have to send. They either send you a program that you have to sign into and accept it that way, or you just send an email back that says agreed or something like that, and voila, you've accepted the load for the contract under the contract rate. And so then they send you the information to take the load from one place to another, or the bill of lading, basically the pickup sheet, I guess. And so then you go and you pick it up. And the thing is, it's like, it takes a lot of time to call on loads constantly. You're on the phone, for a couple of hours at least until you find something. And generally, like later in the day, you're not going to find anything because everybody's going home. So, so that was basically what I've done for the last couple of weeks. I did make it home. I did manage to get some time at home and everything. And so, I bought a pickup truck. I want to put some shelving up here, and then put some cabinets up there, so I have a little more space because I don't have enough space. And I needed a truck to kind of haul stuff around. Like I've measured out the space where the bed is up there. Excuse me. And that space is 80 inches cab length or width, and then from the back wall to where these cabinets are behind me, it's 40 inches. So the idea is I'm going to get a piece of plywood and set it up there 80 by 40, and then kind of secure it in place as best I can. And then I'm going to put some like kitchen cabinets or some sort of cabinets up there that I can just have extra storage or whatever. Because I've seen some videos online about storage, and I've seen guys that buy these big plastic containers with the drawers in them and everything, and I just think I could do a lot better than that. So anyway, so that's coming up in the next month or two. Right now, I'm gonna try to restart my coffers because I spent a bunch of money on a pickup truck that I had enough, and I got a good deal. I got a 73 Chevy. No, it was a 73 GMC Sierra Grande for basically like $1,200, and it came with extra parts. It's got a 2000 stall converter in it. It's an interesting truck. So I'll try to. I may put up a little video here at the end of this showing you the truck that I bought. But anyway, so that's kind of what's been going on. The truck's running good. I've got an APU problem. It doesn't want to cool, so I've had to idle the truck this trip until I can get it looked at. And I'm in Grants, New Mexico, where I had a load that picked up Thursday in Bryan, and then went to Albuquerque, and I dropped off in Albuquerque yesterday. That's Friday, and I don't have to be in Phoenix until Monday, and I'm about 6 hours away from Phoenix. So I decided to stay up here in the high country where it's going to be cooler on a regular basis instead of hot. I'm having to idle the truck anyway, so not that it matters. But it'll be easier to cool the truck up here, which has been kind of nice. And that's kind of what I'm doing. So we're going to be on our way. I might take a different route tomorrow, which is you can go 40 to 17 and head down 17, and that's a nice drive. But there's apparently another route that you can take, which is 77 south from Holbrook to 60. And then at 60, you can take 60 and cut across like diagonally, or for you guys, it would be like this, across the map to Phoenix. And so I may do that tomorrow just to say that I did it, and just to have a more interesting trip. So I'm going to try to record that tomorrow and maybe share that with you guys. Because I did take video when I was in the Midwest recently and everything. And it's been almost a month since that video was taken. And I just don't want to put it up because it's so out of date. And the thing is, the Midwest is not that interesting on camera, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, that's pretty much it. You guys enjoy whatever I decide to post after this. And everything's going well. Keep shining that up. See you down the road. She's getting inspected. Look at that. Well, she passed inspection just like I thought she would. So, no worries. Of course, you gotta take it to the right place, too. That's the other problem. You get some of these guys that think they gotta hold you to every single little rule and don't know what rules apply to what cars. And those people, they don't really know what they're talking about. That's part of the problem. Let's see. Oh, there's the shift. I think it's got a 2000 stall converter on it, so it doesn't like to shift until it gets around 2000 RPM. And slipping, basically, until then. And if you think I knew that off the top of my head, I didn't. I had to call a transmission shop this morning and ask questions. So, anyway, but I'll give you guys the grand tour when I get back to the storage yard. I just basically took it out so I could get it inspected. I figured you guys might like to see it. Okay, so listen to this. Okay, you hear that whine? That's that 2000 stall converter. Hold on, let me get out. Oh, it idled down a little bit. Okay, so it's pretty good. Okay, so here it is, the outside of the truck. I'm running into my car. You can see it's pretty rusty. It's got some issues. There's holes in the door here. And then there's holes in the cab here. And of course the bottom of the cab corners are bad, and there's a door there. But here's the interesting thing. Open it up, and right here along this jamb, there's a little bit of rust. But it's not so bad that I have to worry about it. And the floorboards, they're freaking solid. I checked both of them. And underneath the frame is perfect. So, I mean, it's certainly got its issues. Oh, so I got the door down here. Look at this interior. The seat, he said the seat had been replaced. The dash had been replaced. It was not the same dash. It was a new dash. Or newer dash out of another truck. The door panels that door panel's okay. This one, on the other hand, is going to have to be replaced, but I can get that from LMC Truck. The window regulators are going to have to be replaced or oiled, one of the two. Let me see what else. Okay, so the hood's terrible, in all honesty. I'll show you the other side. There's a nice big old hole right here. I mean, a nice big hole in that hood. The other side's a little better. This front piece on this fender's gone. But other than that, no real issues there. This door is pretty solid. It's got a hole there, or it's working on a hole. There's a hole here, and of course the cab corners down here are not great. That's pretty much it. Of course I could tell. Here's the back. Tailgate comes down, goes up. No issues. Well, it sticks a little bit. So, there you go. There is cancer in the bed. You can see here. So, I mean, outside body-wise is not great. But, fires up pretty nice. I had to find my key. Okay. So, turn the key on. I'm going to bump it. Okay, bump it again. Fired right over. More or less. You can hear it over here. I don't like where the exhaust dumps out. It dumps out right there. It needs to actually go all the way to the end. But I'll get around to that. And then under the hood, let's see here. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Just a good old small block 350. The engine's out of the guy said it was out of a 95 Suburban. I mean, the wheel wells are solid. Frame's good. Power steering works. It's not leaking anything. See? There's a wheel well over here. The battery tray's obviously terrible. Yes, I know the battery's not secure. It's not that big of a deal. This hood's terrible. It's got to be replaced no matter what. So, I mean, you're looking at... But it covers the engine all right. So, I oiled the hinges. So it's shut a little bit better. But that's about it. I think for $1,200, I did a pretty good deal on this thing. Oh, one more thing. Look at all these parts I have. I mean, distributor parts. I got rings if I need them. I got struts. I got cab corners. Not cab corners, but I got, this is a wing window. This big box is a wing window. Down here, the rubber the rubber pieces for the cab to ride on, the cab of the bed. I got brand spanking new lenses. 2 of these. Check those out. Those are pretty good. And so yeah, I think it was a pretty good deal. Now I'm gonna lock it up and go get recertified at the trolley. I'll see y'all later.